to You Against You podcast, and I'm your host, Dej Nicole. You Against You is a lifestyle and a wellness podcast. But in today's episode, which is season 3, episode 19, I will be talking about how to become an academic weapon this upcoming school year. So, yes. I'm finished with school. I'm finished with college. For now, I am planning to go back in 2026. Maybe. Actually, hopefully, because I want to get my master's. And I know it takes about at least 2 years. So I was like, why not just do another back to school episode or just a school theme episode for season 3, which is all about romanticizing your life. While back to school is in session, I know most of my listeners / viewers, wherever you listen or watch this podcast, are in college. So I was like, why not? I do have one college episode that I did, I think the beginning of the season, so I will have that linked in the show notes down below. It's all about how to channel your inner Rory Gilmore. So yeah, but like I said, today's episode is all about how to become an academic weapon this school year. So before I get into today's episode, I'm not saying I was the smartest student ever, because I do have a learning comprehension, which kind of had me a lot of difficulties in school, but I always tried my best. I studied, and I'm going to share some study tips, some just hacks and tips that you can use if you are a first-time college student, or if you're in your 3rd year or 4th year of college, or if you're a high schooler and you're going to college next year, then this episode will be for you. So yeah, but let's just get into the weekly updates. And yeah, so first of all, weekly updates, we're going to talk about, like always, mental health checkup. So my mental health is actually good. Kind of bummed out that I haven't heard any job offers back, but hopefully I can get a job by October, because my mom knows someone, but I don't know. I really don't know. I probably will call back to places next week on Thursday. That gives me 2 weeks, but I'm just kind of bummed out, because it is very hard. I feel like as a new grad, it is very hard to find a job, and nowadays it's actually very hard to find a job, because even when you have the requirements, it's still hard to not even hear if you got it, or just an email saying unfortunately we just didn't think you're a best match. So it's just the job market, it's terrible in America. I don't know if it's like that anywhere else, but in America, it's terrible, because now you need a master's degree for most of these entry-level jobs. And it's so hard, but I'm going to continue to make content, and yeah. But all of that aside, I'm also happy. I have a date later today, so today is Friday, August 16th. Is right now, as I'm recording, 12:35 p.m. So I do have a date today, later today at 5-ish, 5:30. So I'm trying to get everything put out, not put up, but everything recorded or in my editing software, so when I come back, I can make me a cup of coffee and pull it all nighter to just edit content, because I got to edit some more content. But yeah, I do. I'm happy. This guy is you can tell by how a guy is by a lot, and so far I would say it's a green flag. He's a green flag, but maybe one day I'll let you know. Maybe one day I'll let you know if this person is the one. But I'm not going to talk too much about that. But let's just get into the rest of this weekly update and mental health checkup. But I am happy about that, and I'm happy that I do have the time to create content, even though I feel I'm not worth worthy of making content anymore, because it's like it's very hard to think of content. But I think because I just have not had like the motivation, because I was on my cycle like ended, so I didn't have the motivation. I was like, okay, I still need content for Friday and Sunday. I was like, the most easy content that I can do, which can take at least an hour. I don't have to sit down and create a list for one video or create a list for that video and stuff, is doing a morning and night routine. So like I did that, and I recorded both of them back to back. So like I recorded my nighttime routine on Tuesday, and I recorded my morning routine on Wednesday. So my morning routine has to be edited for Sunday. So I'm going to edit that either after I record this podcast episode or after I come back for Sunday, because I don't want to edit this tomorrow. So I'm going to edit that first and then a podcast episode, because that is shorter to edit than a podcast episode. And then I recorded my nighttime routine, which is going to be posted today at 6:30. I also have to take pictures outside for a brand, because I got this cute little t-shirt and I have like a whole outfit idea in my like head. But I would say I like creating content. It's just sometimes I wish I can be doing more, and sometimes I wish I can like start making money off of content. Hopefully, God will make that happen. But at this moment, yeah, it's like I need a job, you know. I want to work and I want to make like work content. But I am planning to do like content on my podcast Instagram, which is not like podcast type thing. So like behind the scenes, new episode, little like things and all of that. So yeah, and I like being busy, but I feel like I need to do more in life, and that is working and getting money. But in this economy, I really don't know. I just I don't know. I don't know, besties. But pray for me that hopefully I get a job. But now let's get into the quote of the day. So the quote of the day is, dreams get you started, discipline keep you going. Again, dreams get you started, discipline keeps you going. The affirmation of today's episode is, I can do hard things, which I love this affirmation, especially if you are a college student or going to college. I feel like you should do this, or I'll say this affirmation every single day, because college is difficult. It just depends on what major you are, the classes, and the people, because you are adults for one. And I'm going to talk about being an adult and dealing with professors in this episode. But again, the affirmation of the day is, I can do hard things. There is no journal prompt for today's episode, but again, the quote of the day is, dreams get you started, discipline keeps you going. Affirmation of the day is, I can do hard things. But before we start today's episode, besties, remember that you can follow You Against You podcast on both Instagram and TikTok, which is You Against You Pod by Deja. You can also follow me personally on Instagram and TikTok, which is Deja DAJAH _ Nicole NICOLE _ If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are listening to this on Spotify, don't forget to leave a rating and leave a comment. And if you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave a rating and review. And you can also go check out my main YouTube channel, which is Deja Nicole, and subscribe to that. I am at not 100, but 1,005 subscribers. So yeah, but let's just get into today's episode. So like I said, I feel like this episode will help a lot of people, and I don't have categories. It's like literally a big list that I'm going to mention and talk about in today's episode. So this is mostly for high school seniors who are going to college next year, and you can save this and come back to it next year. And this is college students that are going to college by the end of this month or beginning of next month, and especially college freshmen, no matter if it's university or community college. These tips applied for both. So let's just get into today's episode. So, college. I have a love and hate relationship with college, and I do want to get my master's degree because I feel like as a woman and as a minority, meaning I am a woman of color, so African American, it is, I feel like it is something that I should do. It's that push to get my master's degree, and I am planning to get my master's degree in clinical research because I want to do clinical research and do research on congenital heart disease, on why is it caused, like how are babies being like born with it if they don't have any link into their like family history of it. So yeah, but the first thing I feel like a lot of people, so a lot of colleges, like I know for me, both when I was in community college and university, your professors, after you like sign your classes like a couple of months before for your next semester, your professors, when it's like a week or 2 weeks before classes start, they send you an email. And you probably have like a class shelf online that has all your assignments and all your classes, and they have like a little like tab that says get to know me or get to know the class. And either or, they either in the email or in this class shell, they have a syllabus. Now, should you read the syllabus? The answer is hell yeah. Read that syllabus, and you would never stop reading that syllabus until you are done with that class. Now, the reason why I say that is because I was that type of person who always looked back into my syllabus. It was helpful because what if I want to know what grade I need to get or how many points to get a certain grade, right? Because your syllabus usually have your upcoming assignments, upcoming quizzes, upcoming tests, your materials like textbooks on the like ISBN number and the grading scale. For each different professor, I noticed they use like a different grading scale, but it still meant the same thing, A, B, C, D, F. But it was like the point scale. Now, I really love looking at my syllabus, and the first thing like couple of days is like before class start, and I had access to my syllabus because some of the time my professors didn't have like gave the students, I would say, access to the syllabus. It was just like the first day of class or 48 hours or 24 hours before class like started, we would have access. But if my professor had access, like gave us access to the syllabus, I had like this school Notion template, which I don't have anymore because I'm no longer in school. But I had this school Notion template that I kind of find like online, and you can find it online too. And I would have my syllabus, and I had this table, and I would have like one column of all the assignments, one column of which like type of classes. So like I would have like tabs that were color coordinated on which type of classes and the due dates. And with the due dates, I have the times. So I will always go to my syllabus to know exactly what type of assignments, because most of my professors had my upcoming assignments for the whole semesters on that syllabus, which I put down. I know one of my classes that I took before I graduated, like my second like summer half, because my summer classes, I took 4 summer classes, but I took 2 from May to June and the other 2 from like July to like August, technically July because I graduated August 2nd. So, which is still August, so yeah. But one of my professors didn't even give us like all the discussion boards, but I still added that just in case. So I would have all my assignments somewhere on my Notion, because Notion keeps me organized. You can do this on Google Calendar. You can like put these assignments in your planner, whatever that keeps you organized. But always looking at your assignments on your syllabus, because yeah, you see it, but it probably won't be open for you to do them early, so you know that these assignments are coming up and that they have due dates. So you can like put them on your calendar, your planner, your Google Calendars, or Notion template if you have like a whole Notion page for school This is also what I did for like my tests and quizzes. I would put it on my Notion template as well with the type of quiz, the type of class, and because I took online classes, I would put like the due date and due time. But when I took in-person classes, I would like put my test like in my planner because I like took a planner to school. I would put the test and then I put the like time on like on a date in my planner. I put the time from when my class started from when my class ended, so I know how many minutes I will usually take the test. And to be honest, I love looking through my syllabus every single day because it's just always helpful. And you probably have like one silly question that you always want to ask your professors, like, what's your grading scale like? Or how many points do I need to get here because I have this many points? And you can just like look at your syllabus. So do not discard the syllabus. Always look at it. If you are taking online classes and you wanted like a physical copy, I do recommend you printing it out and to just writing some notes around it so you know what to remember. But always, 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 always look at your syllabus because it will really help you through the semester, and that is like something I'm so glad that I did. So the next thing I did a lot, and I've noticed like a lot of other people did, is I personally would listen to lo-fi music. I know people will listen to like their own study playlist that they probably made on YouTube Music, Spotify, or Apple Music. And I remember my brother would sometimes like listen to classical music at one point. And when I was in high school and we had to like take a test, and so a couple of days before, we had nothing to do like in class, and my teacher would say like, okay, yeah, just gonna study for this test. They would play like either like some type of classical music, which helps. And I feel like try to find music that doesn't have lyrics, and I probably have said this in my other school theme episode, but listening to music with lyrics while trying to study can really distract you because you will soon start to sing the song and get distracted on what you're studying or whatever homework assignment that you are doing or whatever chapter that you need to read. So I recommend listening to music without lyrics, and so that is like lo-fi music. I love listening to lo-fi music when I am studying, when I was doing school. I still listen to lo-fi music when I'm reading because it just helps me, but sometimes I do listen to music when I am reading with lyrics. But listening to like lo-fi music or classical music can really help stimulate your brain, and it won't really keep you like distracted, and it helps you keep focus. The next thing is two type of studying methods, which I like doing both when I was in like college. So the first studying method is active recall. So that's basically you just recalling on what you just studied, and you just have to like just say like, okay, this is this is that. And then the other method is blurting method. So I used to actually do blurting method a lot, and sometimes when I'm studying and I'm reading off my notes, and then I remember something else that I have to study, and I would just say that out loud. And also another study method is when you're like studying and you want to like hear it. So like if you want to like hear your notes, I would say, while you're probably working out or walking, or even just at work, if you do school and work at the same time, try to record yourself in your voice memos to just read your notes out loud. So when you are trying to go to sleep, or you're working or working out, or even walking, you have yourself in your ears just saying your notes out loud, which can be implanted in your brain so you do not forget. So yeah, and that is something that I did But I just realized that I got tired of it because school was very tiring. And so I just kept doing the active recall method and the blurting method, which really helped as well. So the next thing, which I'm so like glad I did this because it really helped me and helped my grade, is a study group. So I created a study group with like two people in my class, and me and one girl who was in the study group, we actually graduated together like a couple weeks ago. But I'm gonna say this, I feel like I wouldn't have graduated, or I would have like repeat that class if I never like asked them like, hey, can we like create a study group, or when you're like creating a study group, because it was hard. And I would say this, if you're struggling in a class, try to find someone who's smarter than you or just good at that class, and ask them like, hey, we can like find people who are also struggling, and we can create a study group. And let me tell you, creating a study group can really help you throughout college. One, you can create friends if you're an introvert like myself. Two, you are still learning. Three, you can make fun ways on how to like study. You can also learn different methods of studying as well. So like one girl that I graduated with, she had like a whole nother method of studying. Plus she made study guides for us for the test, and it was very helpful. And three, four, I think I said three. So four is also fun, and it can really get you motivated to actually push yourself harder to pass that class. And that's why I also love this study group that I created with my friends in class, because we pushed each other to pass this class. We told each and every one of us, we was like, we're not going to fail this class, we're going to do this, we got this. Like, we was just hyping each other up, giving ourselves and each other motivation, because the class that I was taking that I was struggling in the fall, not fall semester, the spring semester, was very hard, besties. Like, it was so hard, and it wasn't the material, it was because on how my professor teached it. And we all had that struggle, so like it was just very hard, because we was like, we didn't like his like teaching method, but we did really like help each other. We pushed each other through it, and we all passed. And I feel like if you're struggling in a class, right, in the first 2 weeks of your semester, find someone who's not. Ask them, can you create a study group, or can y'all study together? You can create a friendship, you can create a bond, you can motivate each other, you can push each other to the max, to the limits, and it's fun. You can also create a friendship. So yeah. So the next thing, which I usually do, I don't usually like, I do it, but I do it in another way, which I'm going to say. But what you should do is read the chapters slash notes beforehand, or skim through them beforehand. Beforehand, sorry, oh my gosh, my voice cracked. But read your chapters or your notes that are provided for the class that you're going to, or the chapter. So okay, pause. So the chapter that you're going to learn, go through the notes and the chapter in your textbook, because everyone has a textbook, and skim through it and write some notes, because then you can kind of be caught up and ahead of everyone in class. Now, this is what I did when I was in anatomy and physiology before I switched my major from nursing to what I graduated with, which is healthcare administration. And I also did this with my healthcare administration degree, like class, I would say. So I always learn that when I'm reading ahead, or just skimming through my notes and trying to make myself notes to make me understand like that chapter or chapters, it really helped me understand, because like I said, some teachers cannot teach, or some students cannot get the teachers or professor teaching method. So you sometimes you have to learn on your own time and teach yourself. And this is why I'm saying, like, sometimes you got to go ahead of everyone and skim through the textbook, skim through the notes, find something that is eye popping, that is eye catching to you Also, go on YouTube and TikTok and try to find videos that's based on that chapter and write notes for that, because you are learning ahead than your whole class. I remember I did this, but I know this girl. I don't know what I just said. I think I would say whole girl or whole class, but no. Okay, hold up. So I remember I did this, and I know this girl who did this, and she did a lot besides college. She was in the military, so she had to go in the field and this and that. And I'm like, how do you like pass like this class? How you pass? And she's like, cause I learn ahead. And I do learn ahead, but it's just like we have different study methods. We have different ways of learning. And sometimes learning ahead does help you, because I remember when I do learn ahead and my professor would ask questions on this whole new chapter that the whole class is learning, I would raise my hand, answer, and he'd be like, how do you know that? I was like, because I read the chapter the night before, or the notes the night before, or 2 nights before, and it really does help you know what you're going to learn. And especially if you have any questions, you can write them down and be like, so I still don't get it. You explained it. I know this is a new chapter and you explained it, but I still don't get this chapter or this part of the chapter. Can you please explain it? So there's nothing bad being an overachiever. There's nothing bad of learning ahead. It's actually going to help you in the long run, because you are learning something and learning on your own time. And I feel like with college, there is a lot of learning on your own time, because a lot of people might not like taking in-person classes, so they're taking online classes. And some people who do like taking in-person classes because it's better for them have a professor who is slow, have a professor who cannot teach. So in college, you're going to teach yourself a lot, and you have to realize that. Then, okay. So the next thing that I love doing, even though I was not supposed to be doing this, is recording my lectures on my laptop. So I love recording my lectures. It's something that I'm so glad that I did, because sometimes when I'm studying, I can just go back to my recordings to listen to that lecture. So the reason why I feel like every student, upcoming student who's going to college or is in their second, third, or fourth year of college should do this is because, one, you probably hold up. You can probably learn better if you are hearing your professor voice saying it, right? Two, if your professors do not have notes on a D2L shelf or where you have your class notes, and they don't provide you class notes, but there are saying the notes and telling you to write down whatever you hear, and they're talking so fast, you can record your professor, so when you go back to study, you have it on recording. And it's better that way. Sometimes you do have to like listen what your professor is saying, because I remember in biology, when I took anatomy and physiology, there were some things that weren't in the textbook, that weren't in the notes, but my professor would say, you probably want to write this down because it's most likely going to be on the test. So I just recorded the lecture because I caught that, then trying to ask him multiple times, what did you say? But I have it on recording, so when I go back, I can actually listen to it to memorize it. So the next thing, which can be controversial for some people, but I feel like because this is college, it is different from high school, is go to class is also good, but wait, hold up. Okay, so besties. I had to like blow my nose because my allergies were bothering me, but the next thing, which I was talking about, but I was like, oh, hold up. Let me like stop the camera before it stops on me and go blow my nose because my allergies bother me, and start it here. So the next thing is go to class, but also remember that it's okay to take a break from class. So this can be a little bit of controversial, because I feel like yeah, we are paying to go to school, so I want to get my money's worth type thing, right? But I have learned in college is that this is a lot of material. I remember one of my classes, we will learn like 4 different chapters in 2 weeks max, right? And we are adults, and some people take both college classes and work at the same time. I took only college classes, but I know there's some people who did both, and that can be very stressful for you. So why not like take a break sometimes? Like when I'm not myself, I would not go to campus, or when I do have classes and I'd be like, well, I have to go to class, you know? I will like not go to class, and I will like probably just go to the gym, and sometimes I'll go to the gym before my class. But if I feel like I'm not in the mood to go to class because I'm not myself mentally, and we do have those mentally drained days, and that is okay. We are not perfect, we're human, and sometimes you have to take a mental break from class. So like when I do have those days, I would just finish my workout, then try to rush through my workout, and then go to the library, and I will email my professor, like make up some dumb ass excuse and be like, I don't feel good, or I'm not myself, so I won't be in class. And if you're going to do this, do not do this like constantly. Just do it when you're not feeling well. Like I know most of my listeners are women, so you know we have those bad days when we are periods and we have cramps and stuff. Do that. You can email your professor and say like, I'm dealing with something privately, I'm not myself, I don't feel well, can you like tell me what we're doing in class today, and then I can try to like go through the notes and study that and all that, and that helps. And also, if you're doing this, make sure you have a friend or two, or at least 2 classmates. You don't have to be friends, you can be like only acquaintances, to have your social media or your number, so when you are not in class you can like ask him and like, hey, what did I miss in class and stuff. And this is what I did a lot, and it really helps me to catch up and to be ahead. There was times where there was an in-person class quiz, and I didn't go to class that day, but I still studied because my professor didn't like that most of his students were failing, and he was those type of professors who would actually push his students to do better. And it was because of him, that's why we was failing, because he couldn't teach. And there was, I asked him, can like I take this quiz, I missed it because A, B, and C. He was like, no, it was only in person, but a few weeks, like back in April, he was like, yeah, you can take it, just let me know when. And I took it. So sometimes just communicate, hold up, just communicate with your professor and just let them know what's up, because we're not perfect, we have our down days, and they're most likely will understand. Plus we are adults, so they would definitely understand. You could have a child and you in college and your child is sick and you don't have anyone to watch them, you know? So just be reasonable with your professor, but just only don't like skip class because you don't feel like it. Like you're not like, you are yourself but you don't feel like it. Like there was days where I was dealing with a lot personally and I didn't feel like going to class. There was days when I was on my cycle and I didn't feel like going to class. So just find a real excuse than making up an excuse. But no, like, yeah, you have to go to class because this is paid for, you know? And there are some professors who would drop students out their class if they haven't been there for like a month or two. So don't do that. This is not high school where you can like check in for attendance and leave and then come back when the class is over. Like, no. Like, this college is expensive, very expensive. So, yeah, we're gonna leave it there. So the next thing is always ask for help, and this is something I said I was going to talk about. So we are adults, right? College is mostly for adults who are going to school, and if you're a very very smart kid, welcome to college. But I feel like this is something that I feel like a lot of adults do not understand. because some adults have that I can do it all myself mindset and I don't need help mindset. Yes, you are going to school, and yes, you are an adult, and yes, another adult is teaching you, but for the worth of how much you're probably putting in school and the worth of your time and the worth of you wanting to really get that degree, please ask for help. I always ask for help. I never find nothing wrong of asking for help, but there are people who don't like asking for help, especially if you're a college student. Don't be afraid. It can really help you pass your classes. It can really, really help you be at the top. And if you have a low GPA, it can really rise up that GPA as well. So, the next thing, which is the second to last thing, because it's not a long episode, is creating a schedule for yourself. Now, I did talk about this in my last college episode, and I'm going to restate this. But creating a schedule for yourself can really be helpful. So, like, if you have if you're someone who works and you go to school, this will be mostly helpful for you. And if you're just a full-time college student, you don't go to work, this can also be helpful. So let's do, because I was a full-time college. Okay, so because I was a full-time college student, I'm going to do a schedule example for someone who is a full-time college student who's not doing both college and part-time job. So I would create a schedule for myself. Monday through Friday, I took about 4 to 5 classes. My last semester, I'm gonna say spring, because was more helpful for this example. I took 4 classes. So Monday, I will focus on one homework and one study day for that class. The next class for Tuesday, the next class for Wednesday, the last class for Thursday. Just focusing on the studying and the homework. Now, Friday was catch up on everything that I didn't finish those days that I'm just focusing on that one class or just studying for any tests that I have coming up the week coming up. And that was a really good schedule for myself because I wasn't focusing on each and every class all in one day. I was just focusing on one class for that one day, then doing all 4 classes or all 5 classes on Monday, and doing it again on Tuesday, then Wednesday, and so on, which I probably had like health for Monday, math for Tuesday, a science class for Wednesday, and so on. I would just focus on that. And it really helps me to not stress myself out because I'm just focusing on one class, then focusing on 4 to 5 classes on one day every single day, 5 times a week. And then Saturdays, it was my rest day. And then Sunday was also my rest day. But if I had homework that I need to finish, but I didn't finish on Friday, I would finish it right quick to turn it in. So, yeah. Now, what if you have a 9 to 5 job or a part-time job while going to college? What can your schedule be? So, I know with my brother, he would stay up late late just to finish homework, especially on Fridays because he went to work Friday and Saturday. But if you're working every single day 5 times a week and you're a college student, I would say wake up early to do most of that homework for that class, go to class, go to work, and if you are tired, do not do any homework. But if you have a few more energy left in you after you do your nighttime routine, then do at least an hour of homework and just do that every single day. But you would do one class, like I said beforehand, one class for 2 hours, get ready, go to class, work, and then finish that homework for an hour, and then so on, so on, so on, because it's still you being organized and you having a set schedule that is between school and work that is not really clashing with each other. Now, the last thing is rest. Rest is something I feel like a lot of people need to do, and this can be literally being lazy all day and not touching anything that like involves school. And this was me. There was days that even on the weekdays, because I'm just so stressed out of school, I didn't want to touch my laptop and do my homework. And I tell myself like, yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. And yes, I would procrastinate. I'm not gonna say I don't procrastinate. Like, yeah, I procrastinate a lot when I was in college because I wanted my body to rest. I wanted my mind to rest. I wanted my brain to rest. And that is something that you have to do, and that is okay. Do not feel bad that you actually want to put a hold for the next 24 hours to do that homework assignment. Like, just do it. It's not going to be due to what, like, mostly homework assignments are due Sunday at 11:59. So you have time to take a break and then go back, because your mind, your body, everything needs to rest. Life is not all about school, 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 because you can really stress yourself out. But besties, but besties. That is it for today's episode, besties. I really hope that you like today's episode. So again, the quote of the day is dreams get you started, discipline keeps you going. Again, dreams get you started, discipline keep you going. The affirmation of today's episode is, again, I can do hard things. And I'm going to say it one more last time. I can do hard things. We do not have a journal prompt for today's episode, but you can follow You Against You podcast on both Instagram and TikTok, which is You Against You by Deja. You can follow me personally on Instagram and TikTok, which is Deja DAJAH underscore Nicole NICOLE underscore. You can also follow my main YouTube channel, which is Deja Nicole. But if you're watching this on YouTube, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to this on Spotify, don't forget to leave a rating and comment. And if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave a rating and review. I really do hope that you like today's episode, besties. Remember, it's you against you, not you against the world. It will always be you against you. Like, I always have to tell myself, like, girl, get your ass up and do it, because it's you against you. But yeah, like, I almost procrastinated this episode for tomorrow, and I was like, I don't want to do it tomorrow, then also edit tomorrow. And I'm actually gonna edit this episode tonight, so I don't have to do like no editing, big editing, I would say, tomorrow. But I really do hope that you like this episode, besties, and I see y'all in the next one. I will probably don't know when the next solo episode is, because I do have 2 guest episodes coming up. So I think there will be another solo episode, but not next Sunday. But yeah, but I love you guys, and bye.